Hello everybody, it's Joe being videos on the Jimmy Master Animatronics, and what I'm doing today is another episode of that thrift shopping as a Jimmy collector as a teenager. But I'm going to be doing ones that have actually happened to us, real scenarios. This happened to me. The one I'm about to do, I mean, there's only me. I don't have anyone else sadly right now to do it, so it's not going to be as good as I would want it to be. But the one I'm going to do actually happened while I was down in Georgia with Joseph and Bailey when we were flea marketing. I'm also using the actual item that this happened with down there. So I hope you guys enjoy, and then I will do one that actually happened to Bailey as well. This was a different time, but I'll use the actual item. I'll try to do it the best I can, but it's hard for me to kind of remember. But it was pretty silly. Yeah, I wonder if it works. So, I'm just sitting there, looking at it, inspecting it. I obviously know what it is because I have another one. Then the guy is sitting down in the chair, and this is what happens. Hey, you like that cat there? Would you like me to make him walk for you? And then he grabs it and takes it out of my hand, and he starts pressing it. It should work. And I was like, it probably just needs batteries. I know the batteries are low. And he's just sitting there. He keeps on trying to make it go. And then he's talking to his friend behind him. He's just like, it almost seemed like he was laughing at me about the cat. But no, he was like, I was just looking at Bailey and Joseph, and we're just all trying not to laugh. Because Bailey tells me this kind of stuff happens to him all the time. And I'm like, I see what you mean now. And he's like, yep, see? Anyways, he continues to try to press it, and he's like, yeah, see, it needs a charger. You need to charge it. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I guess $5 for it. It was my daughter's or whatever. I haven't even ever tested it, actually. I've never charged it or anything, but I don't think it works because this leg is really far back, and one of these front wheels are really wobbly and loose. But still, that's the story. Like, it was funny. This is actually a better look of how he was. He was just laughing and holding the cat out, but he was looking behind him and laughing at his friend or something. Okay, so I won't be using the actual item that Bailey got because it's the Go-Go scooter stand, and it's way back there somewhere, and I'm not digging for it, so I'll just use this Santa. So he brings it up to the counter, and the guy's like, is that everything for you? And Bill was like, yeah. And the guy just laughed at him the whole entire time while he was reading it up. That'll be $10.95. Like, it's just like, it's like the whole time, like, while I paid for it, and then when Bailey left, alright, thank you. He just couldn't stop laughing. It was so funny. There was actually one other scenario, and I that happened while I was there when we were flea marketing. Bailey found this Jimmy Fanatics bear, the mini one, and he went up to the lady and asked how much what she wanted, and she said $3, and Bailey asked, how about $1? And she's like, what, you think I'm crazy? I have to pay rent for this? It's like $600 a month, and she was just like mad. There was one other scenario where I saw there was a Spirit Halloween zombie baby. It was one of the older ones from like 2009 or 10. It was one that was chewing on a hand. Not chewy. This one was a static, but its eyes blink and it makes noise. I asked him how much he wanted for it. He said $30, which I know is not a bad price for what they go for on eBay. But you gotta remember, I was in Georgia, and then to ship all that back home, and I didn't want to spend all my money because this was my first few days being there, so I had to save money, just in case I found something even better. So I asked the guy, he said $30 or whatever, and I'm like, can you go lower? And he's like, nah, you'll never find another one of those ever again. That's the only one I've ever seen. And I'm just sitting there like, because it's hard for me not to buy something when someone says a certain price. I usually give in and be like, but that time I just had to. But he was just like, you'll never find another one. I promise you that. You'll never find another one. And I'm just like, I can't do it. Thank you. And it was just like, okay. I don't know. I get put on to that peer pressure of it's just But there's always those people like that. Oh man, I'm sure it's worth more than what I'm wanting. You know, you're never gonna find another one of those. That reminds me, there was even another one. This was before I got there. Bailey and Joseph went to the thrift store and they found a cool catfish, and there was a split gear, so it didn't move. And the guy was like, "Hey, it's a Billy Bass!" And it's like, how much do you want for it? I don't remember how much they paid for it, but like, it wasn't moving. They wanted it for a cheaper price, and the guy's just like, "Oh, it's just the batteries." He's like, "No, it's actually a spaghetti. It's the batteries." The guy just didn't want to hear it's the batteries. But of course, it still talks fine. It's not the batteries, but everyone assumes it's always the batteries. This one's batteries are not low.
Excuse me, I must have eaten a bad worm.
But yeah, that was another scenario that happened. I mean, I keep on thinking more as it goes along because there's a lot of things that happen. There was also a time where Bailey went to a thrift shop and found a Billy Bass, and it was like all melted, the plaque and shit. And it was in horrible condition, and the lady's like, "Oh yeah," or the person was like, "Yeah, it's really rare. This is very rare." And it's just like, no, go on eBay, you'll find a whole bunch of them. There was also one other scenario where Bailey found one of these at a thrift store, and I don't remember if he had it in a bag or something, but regardless, it started playing while he was going up to pay for it or something. It was like, it's one of those, this is Great American Fun Corp, it's sound activated, and it got turned in the on position. Here, just a minute. I mean, and this is one of the most embarrassing things that could go off when you're in the checkout line. I think he told me he got a lot of weird looks. What the hell? I mean, yeah, that would be pretty embarrassing. Then there will be times where I'll bring up I'll have a whole bunch of Halloween shit in my arms, and I'll bring it up to the counter and be like, "Oh, you're all ready for this year's Halloween, aren't you?" Or they'll be like, "So what are you doing with all this stuff? Are you having a party?" And I just say, when it comes to Halloween, I say, "Oh, well, I collect, battery operated moving things, But when it's something like if it's something like a bunny, I usually don't say. They usually don't say anything, but if they do, I don't know. If they would ask are you getting this for a sibling, I would definitely say yes. Oh, are you getting this for your mom? Yeah, I'm getting it for my mom. Or like, one of those robots that walk. Oh, this is an action figure. Are you getting it for your little brother? Yeah. And then there will even be times where I'll, see an item like when I was at the flea market, I saw this chef cookie jar. It was one of them that move, those animated talking ones. I was looking at it, and the lady comes up to me and starts, watching me and like smiling. It's just like, it got so awkward. Like, I'll go up to something, look at something like even that mini primate. I saw it, and the ladies were like looking at me, smiling and stuff. Like, uh, it's just so awkward how they just like stare and look at you, like whether it's like a happy smile or it's just a. Because I mean, when we went into an antique store, well, we weren't. I mean, there was people like kind of watching us, probably because we were young adults and they think we're gonna steal something. But still, no, not those people. The others were not like that. They were just staring like, "You gonna buy it?" I don't know.